but we're not going to worry that much about that one. Except, as we give you this, we like to feel that you are obliged to reciprocate in some way. The biggest reciprocation is that you use it. Now, we're going to, and I'm just going to show you how powerful this book is. I'm just going to read 1 or 2 pages that you're going to read along with me. And we're going to have our half an hour discussion simply based on 1 or 2 pages of the particular book. You turn to page 133 in your book. It's your book now. Now some people are saying nothing is free these days, and you're right. 131, I'm sorry. 131. My spiritual master said, you give people things free, they don't take advantage of it, they throw it away, etc. So what we're going to ask you, though, is that as you have means, you simply give a donation for the book. The biggest donation is that the biggest commitment is that you share with somebody. Just so we guarantee you share with somebody, you give a love offering for it according to your particular means. And we will be very pleased in that particular way. We ask particularly one book for a family. If you came couples or whatnot, then perhaps you may want to just only take one of the books. But it's a manual, so it's something not just for reading, but it's for putting into practice. And it's something that works because it's giving techniques that are very universal. And it's something that is highly in need. Just yesterday I was doing another radio show, and I was mentioning how with the divorce situation now, that like at around 1910, 1920, about 10% of people were divorcing, and in 1970, about 50% of marriages end in divorce, and now in 1990, 67% of marriages are ending in divorce. And now that's formal divorce. That doesn't say any people just still, legally married and they hate each other's guts. Or how many are legally married and still they are living, even though they're supposedly living together, but they're in some form of separation. And we realize that the family is the microcosm of the society, and so if the family is in disarray, we understand the tribe, the nation, the international community, because it's just a microcosm. It's just a microcosm of the family itself. And if we are able to tune in to healthier relationships within the family, then we'll see how so many things will flourish in so many different ways. So remember that love is not just now, it's the sacrifice, the selflessness, the things that we do. It's not dependent on somebody else, not dependent on something external, but it's dependent upon being and then receiving and then sharing. So we're in such anxiety that we haven't found that person we've been dreaming about for so long. Then we need to stop dreaming and start acting. We need to start acting with a sense of nobility. Just as, for instance, some of you take the book, if you feel impoverished, then you're going to keep having that mentality, and you're going to keep bringing the same thing. But as you feel a sense of nobility, a sense of prosperity, then you will begin to draw such things. If you feel a sense of gratitude, then you will draw others who will have that sort of gratitude and appreciation for you. But if you feel victimized, you feel unprotected, uncared for, then you're going to draw, of course, that into your particular life. But if we, realizing that we can never be empty of love as long as we're being loving, then we'll be constantly receiving because the universe will reciprocate with us in such a way. As we stop thinking that love or attracting people just based on externals, then people will stop relating to us in that particular way also. So I'm just going to take you with just these 10 principles, especially since we're talking about Valentine's. So we're looking at the chapter Love Between a Man and a Woman, discussing about being whole, complete, going beyond just the temporary, going beyond the frustrations that come for experiencing lust and greed and avariciousness rather than selflessness, compassion, and love. So I'll read this as you read along with me. We must learn to love ourselves. Starting off, first we must love ourselves. People say, but that's what everybody's doing. And that's why there's so much chaos and pandemonium. No. We're not saying we must learn to lust after ourselves or lust after others or put more attention to our lusty desires. But we must learn to love ourselves. And what does that mean? As we have seen, those who do not care for themselves cannot give it to others. It is hard to give something that you do not have. It is hard to share something that is not with you. It is hard to connect with somebody with something when your own supply is empty. But when you have, then you can share and you can connect based on that. One aspect of self-love is to observe 4 basic principles. No drugs, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating. All these indulgences can weaken our basic constitution. The more we allow ourselves to live according to natural laws, the more surrendered we become to the will of God. If we lack self-esteem, we are refusing to see ourselves as children of God and do not have sufficient love and devotion to share with anyone else. So this is first technology here, about love between man and woman. That first, man or woman or person must love themselves by stop doing violence to themselves. They must stop degrading themselves. They must stop treating themselves as if they are impoverished, treating themselves as if they are bereft, treating themselves as they're victims, treating themselves as if they're lonely and not worthy of anyone else. But as they treat themselves with such honor and giving the best care that to the body as it is required, putting the best things in the system, then as one has higher and higher quality about their own essence and existence, then they will attract such also other persons who will complement the quality that they are maintaining. 2. So first thing, it starts with ourselves. We don't have to go on dating lines. We don't have to go to this place, that place, looking for someone. We first have to be. And as we are, then wherever we go, then we will draw people similar, we will connect with people, people will come after us because of what we are radiating, what we're emanating. But if we're constantly feeling empty, being empty, and looking outside for something that's somehow going to create the miracle, then we will constantly be waiting and waiting. 2. In other words, we want to help you to find that perfect person that you are thinking about, because there's no perfect person. The your body is full of dualities, the mind, but to find that connection that allows you to really feel good about life, about your present, and extremely exhilarated about your future. That you will stop going to bed crying on your pillow by yourself. That you will stop going places feeling that nobody is concerned about you, or you don't find anybody that you're concerned with. That you are such an agent of the Godhead. And therefore, when you have that kind of intensity, it doesn't matter so much whether somebody is trying to connect with you or not, because you are what you are. You are loving. And because you're loving, you're feeling inspiration based on that. And of course, you will naturally draw connections, but you will be loving. And therefore, it's like sometimes we find when it comes to finance, when you don't need money, it's easy to get money. The more you need it, the more difficult it is. You go to a bank and you really need it, you get nothing. But you go to a bank and you have a lot of money, or you have assets, and you want more to invest, to do more things with, then there's good opportunity. When you have only lust, only emptiness, only existentialism, only sadness, and you're going to try to find happiness, you're in trouble. You will simply be bankrupt. Because you will connect with others who have that same kind of defeatist mentality. But when you have a great sense of strength, a great sense of positiveness and wholeness, and we'll go along and explain how to get that, then so many things will happen as people want to be connected with you because of how you revitalize them based on who and what you are. 2. The love we receive from our mate actually comes from the Lord. And our job is to send it back. Others channel God's love to us, and we channel His love to others. The Lord is engaging us in play to see what we do with His love. We can reciprocate God's love by caring for our partner with great devotion, as if God Himself were present. Our mate becomes a pathway through which we can return our love to God. That's number 2. The love we receive from our partner, from our mate, the love we receive from our beloved, is actually love given by God to ultimately be received back by God. Just like you give someone something to hold for you, and then you later want it back. Or you give something to someone to hold, and you're going to see what they're going to do with it, how they're going to use it. If they use it properly, then you're going to give them more. So that love that is within the essence of our mate, that we are trying to connect with, we can reflect on that as being given by God.